Так зробили огляд матчу, в якому зіграє Джет Трамп і Хамад Міях. Джет Трамп 4-й в рейтингу, Міях 127-й. Грається турнір British Open. Перший раунд турніра. Грається 7 фреймів. Матч. Також на цьому турнірі приймають участь Тімі Нух, Напон Ценгахен, Хосейн Вафейн, який грає з сильним столом, Джо Хіггінс, Шон Мерфі, Джек Лісовський. Джек Лісовський, Шон Мерфі зіграють сьогодні свій матч о 9 годині вечора. Керрі Вілсон, Гаррі Вілсон, Дінджин Ху. Так, початок першого фрейму. Джет забиває червоний шар в праву лузу. Вихід на розовий шар.
Forty. $15.
Так, Джет Трамп набирає 54 очка в першому фреймі. Вихід на чорний. Так, і Джет виграє перший фрейм і веде в цьому матчі з рахунком 1-0. Лишається Трампу виграти 3 фрейми до перемоги в цьому матчі, щоб вийти в другий раунд турніру British Open.
$30. $31. $36. $37. $44. $45. $50. $51. 56. 57. 'Thank you. $62. 63. 70. 71. 77.
Так, зараз ми огляд
70.
матчу, в якому зіграє Джек Трамп і Хамад Міях. Джек Трамп 4-й в рейтингу, Міях 127-й. І грається турнір British Open. Перший раунд турніра.
84.
І грається 7 фреймів
85.
матч. Також на цьому турнірі приймають участь Тімі Нух, Напонценгахен, Хосейн Вафейн, який грає з сильним столом, Джо Хіггінс, Шон Мерфі, Джек Лісовський. Джек
92.
Lisowski, Шон Мерфі зіграють сьогодні свій матч о 9 годині вечора.
93.
Керрі Вілсон, Гаррі Вілсон, Дін Ху. Так, початок першого фрейму. Джек забиває червоний шар.
100. 101.
Вихід на розовий шар.
$106. 108.
Так, де Трамп набирає 54 очка в першому фреймі.
Lisowski 108. And the first frame.
Так, і Джет виграє перший фрейм і веде в цьому матчі з рахунком 1-0. Лишається Трампу виграти 3 фрейми до перемоги в цьому матчі, щоб вийти в другий раунд турніру British
Still banks of
Open.
points there, so has to be wary. Oh, but what a recovery shot that was. And
51.
it wasn't without risk, clearly. Had he missed it, he was leaving Murphy a chance for a counter, but he backed himself, and it was right in the middle.
77. Thank you.
Olivier Martil, our referee for this one.
62.
Shaun Murphy is well used to sitting in his chair watching Jack Lisowski make the breaks, as he had to do last year at the Barbican in York. It was quite extraordinary performance that night from Lisowski. The only frustration for him, of course, was that he wasn't able to kick on and win the title. He'll feel as though he probably should have beaten Mark Allen in the semi-final. The chances.
71.
But this frame is well and truly over now. The excellent
77.
retrieving pot from distance into this left corner.
78.
The key shot of the break. Now Lisowski eyeing another century. 285 for his career, so getting close to joining the 300 club. He's made 7 already this season.
84. 85. $92.
Nothing Murphy can do about this. Murphy
93.
came through last night against Rebecca Kenner, having lost the opening frame. It was quite a scrappy match, actually. Murphy made just one break of note in winning 4-1. But this has been anything but scrappy. Jack Lisowski
100.
with his 8th century of the campaign.
101.
An early statement of intent.
$106. 108. Lisowski 108.
Green just seemed to drift away from the pocket at the last moment there, but the century was already achieved. 108 from Jack Lisowski. What a start from him. He leads Shaun Murphy by 1-0. Quite a battle continuing over on table 2 between Matthew Stevens and Ken Doherty, who led by 3 frames to 1, helped by doubling a respotted black, but as you can see, Matthew Stevens, unfazed, has hit back to win frame 5 and is 54 in front in the 6th frame in his bid to take that match all the way. So it could well be a decider on table 2. And when that match comes to its conclusion,
на цьому турнірі приймають участь Нух, Напонцен Гахен, Хосейн Вафейн, який грає за сильним столом, Джо Хіггінс, Шон Мерфі, Джек Лісовський, Шон Мерфі зіграють сьогодні свій матч в 9 годині вечора. Керрі Вілсон, Гаррі Вілсон, Діджель Ху. Так, початок першого фрейму. Джек забиває червоний шар в праву лузу. Вихід на розвишер.
We'll keep you up to date with developments on table 2.
Также Трамп набирає 54 очка в першому фреймі. Вихід на чорний.
The second frame, Shaun Murphy to
Shaun Murphy reduced to spectator in the opening frame. A superb century break from Lisowski to lead 1-0.
Так, і Джет виграє перший фрейм і веде в цьому матчі з рахунком 1-0. Лишається Трампу виграти 3 фрейми до перемоги в цьому матчі, щоб вийти в другий раунд турніру British Open.
Good safety from Lisowski, acknowledged by Murphy. He really did recapture his very best form last season. Murphy, when he won the Players' Championship, he beat Mark Selby, Kyron Wilson, Ryan Day and Ali Carter in the final. And then at the Tour Championship, for the top 8 on the one-year list. Equally impressive. Avenging his loss in the Welsh Open final to Rob Milkins, beating Selby again in the decider, and then Kyron Wilson in the final. The only real disappointment for Murphy was losing out in the first round of the World Championship, having gone there as one of the favourites for the tournament. He lost out in a decider to Si Jiawei, but that loss, which at the time was a surprise, was put into context by what Si went on to achieve in making the semi-finals and very nearly the final, of course, before that record-breaking comeback from Luca Brissell. Containing safety from Lisowski. But is it safe? There's the answer. Lovely pot from Murphy to get in early in the second frame.
Bramble.
Looks like Matthew Stevens has taken the match the distance over on table 2, so it's going to be a one-frame shootout there. 3 apiece for Ken Doherty. Yeah, that was a tough red that Murphy's taken on there. From that angle, along the rail, very difficult, and it's proved elusive, so despite the excellent opening red, the break ends prematurely. And Lisowski's back in, and he's nicely on the blue, so chance to do some more damage. We'll just knock over to table 3 just to see how things are going there. And as you can see, Jimmy Robertson is about to apply the finishing touches to victory over Wu Yiza, so the former European Masters champion, coming through another tight match. We've had a lot of them already this week in Cheltenham. Finishing in style.
7.
That was a very difficult red that Murphy missed. No margin for error at all. So Jimmy Robertson going through.
Джет Трамп и Хамад Миях. Джет Трамп 4-й в рейтингу. Миях 127-й. Играється турнір British Open. Перший раунд турніра. Играется
presentable opportunity for Lisowski to double his lead. There's the handshake. Jimmy Robertson safely through.
На цьому турнірі приймають участь Тімі Нух, Напонсен Гахен, Хосейн Вафейн, який грає за сильним столом, Джо Хіггінс, Шон Мерфі, Джек Лісовський. Джек Лісовський, Шон Мерфі зіграють сьогодні свій матч о 9 годині вечора. Керрі Вілсон, Гаррі Вілсон, Дін Джин Ху. Так, початок першого фрейму. Джет забиває червоний шар в праву лузу. Вихід на розовий шар.
$38. 39.
Так, Джет Трамп набирає 54 очка в першому фреймі. Вихід на чорний.
46. $47.
Так, і Джет виграє перший фрейм і веде в матчі з рахунком 1-0. Лишається Трампу виграти 3 фрейми до перемоги в цьому матчі, що вийде в другий раунд турніра British Open.
55.
Shaun Murphy took on that tough red close to the left rail. And this is the result. It's looking like 2-0. Lisowski's one of those players who can do damage so quickly when he gets into a groove, into a rhythm. Can be devastating, as Murphy found to his cost at the UK Championship last season. And
62.
he's doing something similar tonight at the moment. Made a century in the opening frame. Is he going to repeat the trick here? First things first, make sure at the frame he needs another red after this blue. Is he going to land on a red? Well, he's landed on one, but not in the way he wanted to. That could be end of break. $62 the lead, still 67 on the table. And it's a very open table, all the colours on their spots. The reds are all out in the open, so there's still some jeopardy here for Lisowski. He knows it. Murphy more than capable of a steal if he gets the chance in this situation. Wow.
Lisowski, 67.
Could be an early turning point in this match. This is a great chance for Murphy. Did Jack Lisowski push the boat out there? That was a very difficult red that he seemed to be attempting with the rest. It's gone wrong, and there's nothing safe on the table. And Murphy has never lacked for bottle. So this would be a big blow to strike, because it looked for all the world as though Lisowski was going 2-0 up. Murphy had very few shots at that stage. He's still got to pot them though.
One. Rambo.
And he hasn't got too much wiggle room here, Murphy. 59 left. 57 the deficit.
5.
But this will hurt Jack Lisowski if he can clear up here. And I think even though he's 57 adrift, you would rather be Shaun Murphy right now in this frame than Lisowski, given the position of the balls.
Six.
Wow.
Shaun Murphy, 6.
That is a surprise. Murphy can't believe it. What a let-off this is for Lisowski. Did he get a heavy contact there? He hit it thick. Or was it just a poor shot? Either way, it's cost him big time. And now the red that Lisowski took on, which looks pretty ambitious with the rest, is irrelevant. I don't think it was a kick. I think Murphy just got it wrong.
Огляд матчу, в якому зіграє Джет Трамп і Хамад Міях. Джет Трамп 4-й в рейтингу. Міях 127-й. І грається турнір British Open. Перший
That
раунд
is a big
турніра.
let-off for Lisowski, and it certainly would have hurt him to have lost that frame. They were all there for Murphy.
Матч також
They certainly wouldn't have
на
legislated for
цьому
the break
турнірі
ending as
приймають
early as it did
участь
on that
Нух, Антон
short range
Шенгахен,
pink.
Хосейн Вафейн, який грає з сильним столом, Джо Хіггінс, Шон Мерфі, Джек Лісовський. Джек Лісовський, Шон Мерфі зіграють сьогодні
Got to put
свій
that out of
матч
his
о
mind.
9 годині вечора. Керрі Вілсон, Гаррі Вілсон, Дін Джин Ху. Так, початок першого фрейму.
13.
Джет забиває червоний шар в праву лузу. Вихід на розовий шар.
Twenty. $22.
But Stevens has found an extra gear since then, and as you can see, handily placed in this final frame, 39 in front at the table, with the chance for a comeback victory
Так, Джет Трамп
against his old
набирає
foe.
54 очка в першому фреймі. Вихід на чорний. Так, і Джет.
We'll be back very shortly on table 1, but on table 2, Matthew Stevens now looking good to deny Ken Doherty a place in round 3, having been 3-1 behind here. Jack Lisowski 2-0 up on Shaun Murphy, made a century in the first frame. Was looking good to take the second in one visit. Lost position, took on an ambitious red with the rest that he missed by a margin. And Murphy had the chance to punish him with a steal, but almost immediately things went wrong for Murphy. Missing a short-range pink, which I think thoroughly puzzled him. And that cost him the chance to level the match. So 2-0 behind, work to do for the magician. Normally very reliable with a red like that, but maybe just shaken up a bit by what happened in the previous frame. And here is Matthew Stevens finishing the job. What a comeback from him. That red doesn't matter, only 51 left, and there's the handshake from Ken Doherty. Terrific tussle between the pair, and Stevens winning the last 3 frames in a row to claim victory. Congratulations to him. And very shortly on table 2, it'll be Gary Wilson, former British Open runner-up and reigning Scottish Open champion, against the shootout champion Chris Wakelin. And as you can see, while that's been going on, Lisowski has got back in again.
Eight. Nine. 16. 17. 24. 25. 32. 32.
The break ends at 32. Lisowski looking to power the red in for position and maybe just taking his eye off it. Really did give that some welly, but he held his hand up because, having missed it, he could easily have left Murphy an easy starter as it is. Just the safety, I think. But I guess Murphy will be relieved that Lisowski didn't make more of that chance. Feels like a must-win frame, really, for the magician, particularly after the disappointment of missing the pink in the previous frame when the clearance was on for him. Plenty of snooker still to come this evening. Murphy looking to get something going here. 2 disappointing frames for him so far. Normally excellent with the rest, one of the best in the world. But it's just not happening for him at the moment.
Thank you.
Mentioned that it was a bit of a struggle last night in his victory over Rebecca Kenner. I think that's what's known as a rueful smile from Murphy. When he's not potting with the rest, you know that things aren't quite right with his game. Won the Championship League right at the start of this season. His 12th ranking title. Was unbeaten in that event in Leicester. Won 7 and drew 3 of his matches, including the 3-0 victory over Williams to clinch the title. Lost out in the last 16 of the European Masters to John Higgins, 5-2. He's also missing out on the Wuhan Open, the first ranking event back in China since COVID. In a couple of weeks' time, he lost to Ben Mertens in qualifying for that. He has qualified for the International Championships in China, which is coming up in November. And was beaten by the odd frame by Rob Milkins out in Shanghai. So since the Championship League, Murphy may have lost just a little bit of his form. He knows he's going to get chances this evening against Lisowski. Question is whether he can take them. This is another one.
One. Eight. Nine.
That was a good pot from Murphy. There was pressure on it. Those cut-back blacks are never easy, particularly when you've lost
60.
the first 2 frames. And you're behind in a frame that you'll feel you really need to win to entertain thoughts of turning this match around. So he passed that test nicely to keep the break going. He knows his game is in good shape. Just a question of finding the usual rhythm. But in these
17.
best of 7 frame sprints, there isn't too much time to do that. So there's a little urgency now for Murphy to click into gear, get himself involved in this contest.
$22. 23. $29. 30. 37. 38. 45. 46. 53. 54.
Good response this so far from Murphy. Stroked in the initial red. Getting himself some valuable table time in the process, getting that Q arm going. Looked thoroughly perplexed at missing the short-range pink in the previous frame, which cost him the chance of a steal.
61.
But if he can finish this off now, he's back in the match. And it always looked like being
62.
a very entertaining affair between these two. Such great break builders. Terrific potters. And just this red to halve the deficit.
68.
Here's Graham Dott, who's been in action this evening. Still a terrific competitor is Graham.
69.
He's been up against Andy Hicks, who managed to pull back to 2 frames all from 2-0 down. But I think Dott might be completing victory over there. Meanwhile, Murphy has found his form in the nick of time here.
76. 77.
Just a question now of whether he can complete the century. Would be his 10th of the season already. Made 48 last season, 633 for his career at the moment.
$86. 89. 93.
And this,
98.
it must be said, has been an immaculate break from Murphy. Exactly the response required.
104.
Very nicely done. Crowd loving this. And just giving Lisowski something to think about. A tremendous clearance from Shaun Murphy.
111 and the frame.
A break of 111, and he joins the party in style. Jack Lisowski still leading, but only by the 1 frame now, at 2 frames to 1. Murphy straight back in, and now, of course, he's got some confidence going, having knocked in that superb century just now. 634th of his career, and the 10th already this season.
Eight. Nine. $16. Touching ball. Shaun Murphy 16.
Murphy now into his 42nd year, but he remains very ambitious, looking to become world #1. That's certainly one of his goals. His career high ranking was achieved in 2016 when he reached #3. He's currently at #7. For Jack Lisowski, of course, his primary goal at this stage of his career is landing that first ranking title. Doesn't care where it comes, how it comes, just get the first one. And he's certainly got time on his side, Lisowski. He's only 32, a full 9 years younger than his opponent this evening. quite gone to plan for Murphy. It wasn't easy cueing. It was a good cue ball that Lisowski achieved. And as a result, well short of pace on the cue ball. So half a chance here for Lisowski. Well, he didn't pot it cleanly, and that's why he's lost the cue ball. It went in off the jaw. Had it gone in cleanly, the cue ball would have been in a much better position for the black. Is he going to take this on? Goodness me, this is risky. He's going to be going into the reds. And he's missed it. Well,
Jack Lisowski won.
Once again, you could argue that that was a little ambitious. Having lost prime position on the black, maybe Lisowski could have just taken a deep breath and thought about a safety, but he went all out for the pot, knowing he was going into the reds. Got away with it in the second frame when he took on that difficult red with the rest. Is he going to get away with it this time? This is not easy. But Murphy stroked it in, so back in.
Six. Seven. Twelve. Thank you. Shaun Murphy, 12.
So a couple of scoring visits from Murphy, but just a 27-point advantage in this fourth frame in his bid to tie this match up, make it a best of three. Became only the second qualifier after Terry Griffiths, of course, to win the World Championship back in 2005, when he played an incredibly aggressive brand of snooker, and it paid off spectacularly for him, beating Matthew Stevens in the final, of course. Became the 10th player to complete the Triple Crown of World, UK and Masters titles, when he won the Masters in 2015. Added the Champion of Champions title at the expense of Ronnie O'Sullivan 2 years later. So he's achieved everything there is to, really, in the game in terms of tournaments won. He's been in 3 other world finals, of course, on top of his triumph in 05. Most recently, a couple of years ago, when he was beaten by Mark Selby. Never ideal when a colour obscures a corner pocket, as the black is right now. Things can get a bit bogged down, but that will change very quickly if Lisowski can slot this difficult red in. And that was a terrific pot.
One.
Not the best kiss, however. Deserved a bit better. Very difficult red that he made to look pretty easy, but can he now knock this pink in? Green pocket's the target. It's there. Two excellent pots from Lisowski. He's now back in business, just 20 points behind in this fourth frame.
Seven. Eight. 15. 16.
No. The blue eludes Lisowski. Led off for Murphy. It's quite thin. And he undercut it, perhaps thinking more about the cannon. Case of divided concentration. Either way, Murphy back in, as he looks to level this match up.
One. Eight. 9. 14. 'Thank you. 15. $22. $23.
So it's looking like Lisowski's miss on the blue is going to cost him this fourth frame and allow Murphy to restore parity. 34 the difference. Now 41 with the black, so just this red and another black, and it'll be 2 apiece.
$31. $38. $39. $45. $46. $52. $54. Thank you. $57.
And Murphy, after a slightly indifferent start to the evening, has found the form that won him 2 big ranking titles last season, has won in the Championship League already this season.
61.
And it's all up for grabs now in what remains of this match. A best of 3 from
66.
here for a place in round 3, the round of 32.
$72.
The winner, remember to play the Matt Selt or Zach Shurty for a place in the last 16.
79 on the train.
And a 79 clearance from Shaun Murphy to punish Jack Lisowski's miss on the blue to the left centre pocket. And Murphy has hit back from 2-0 behind. Just wants that cue ball to pull up, which it's just about done. So Murphy straight back into it. Terrific pot.
$3. $4. $9.
Just lost the cue ball there, Murphy. That was a loose positional shot. Once again, looking a little perplexed. He was playing on the red to the right of the pink. But that's gone wrong. And it's end of break. And you can see his frustration because that was another good chance to build on the momentum that he's gained by winning frames 3 and 4 in fine fashion. A century and a 79 clearance. Bit of a let-off for Lisowski this time.
Thank you.
Certainly opened the Reds up with that shot. This is close. Oh. Nice plant from Murphy and nicely on the black. So back in business, definitely looking a stronger player right now. It was Jack Lisowski holding sway in the first couple of frames, but Murphy has responded impressively.
Eight. 9.
Murphy has talked quite openly about his weight loss that he feels has been a big part of the reason why he's been able to relocate his A game after a period in the doldrums. Lost up to 5 stone. He'd been having some issues with. He's put a lot of work in as well on the practice table. And it's all come together for him in the last few months with this tremendous run of success he's enjoyed. 3 ranking titles this year. And there's still plenty more snooker to be played, of course, before the end of 2023. A very busy calendar between now and Christmas. Next week, of course, the first leg of the Home Nations, the English Open in Brentwood. Straight after that, the players are off to China for the Wuhan Open. Then the Northern Ireland Open coming up at the
23.
End of October. International Championship in November. UK Championship, Scottish Open, Champion of Champions, all of that to come before the festive season. So there's a lot of opportunities
30.
for further success for these players.
$31. 37. 38.
'No reason why Murphy shouldn't now convert this opportunity
44.
into a 3-2 lead. It's looking very sharp.
$45. 51. 52.
'Another big break from Murphy, his third on the bounce. And as you can see, already at the point where Lisowski needs a snooker. But he surely won't get the chance to play for them. This to make sure for Murphy.
60. 66.
His best run in this
67.
tournament came way back in 2004 when he made the semi-finals. Since the tournament returned to the calendar, before this season, he hadn't won a match in the British Open. The last 2 years, knocked out in round 1, but now looking good for a place in round 3. Still time, of course, for Lisowski to turn it around, but he's going to have to raise his game because Murphy is looking very strong now. A century in frame 3, a 79 clearance in frame 4, and now closing in on possibly another century.
82.
Here in frame 5, although the final red's going to need some potting.
83.
Not quite the angle he wanted on the black with that red in mind, hence the rueful smile. So it's the pink instead. Nicely done. Another good pot required because he needs the red and the colour.
89.
So he's going to have to stroke this in. Well played.
90.
Now perfect angle on the yellow. Or to get up to the yellow, I should say, off the black. And just the green
97.
needed for a second century of the evening. It's good stuff from Murphy.
99.
Brilliant stuff, it really is. What a response from 2-0 behind. At that stage, it was looking like it might not be Shaun Murphy's evening, but he's turned this match around in very impressive fashion. This is the Murphy we saw for the lion's share of last season, and indeed the beginning of this. Cueing beautifully, and it's down to Lisowski to try and respond now. Murphy in 7th place in the all-time list of century break makers. This is his 635th
111.
and his 11th of this season. quite a clearance from Murphy, but that was a brilliant break nonetheless. His second ton of the night to go with the 79 clearance in the frame before the one just completed. 3 on the bounce for Murphy, and within 1 of victory at 3 frames to 2. Live action. Would be hard to imagine a more attractive match than Murphy against Lisowski, given how fluent these two players are. They like to attack the balls, go for their shots. And talking of attacking, Lisowski not holding back there. Could have landed a little better though. There's a bit of pressure on this because he knows that if he does miss, Murphy's in the mood to punish with something big. Yeah, nicely done. That was missable under pressure. Sure the crowd would love a decider. Sure Murphy would prefer not to have one, of course.
$17. 19. 20. 27. 28. 35.
It's a terrific red from Lisowski to get in. Now it's all important that he maintains focus and ensures he makes the most of the chance he created for himself, and in the process force a deciding frame.
36.
Came through yesterday in a high-quality encounter with Joe O'Connor, last season's Scottish Open runner-up. O'Connor played very well in defeat. Lisowski winning the decider on that occasion, so if he can force a 7th frame here, he'll have reason
43.
to back himself.
$44.
Still plenty of open reds available, so no reason why Lisowski shouldn't clinch the frame at this visit.
46. 47. 54. 55.
And what a standard these two have produced this evening. Yes, there have been a few errors just to add to the excitement, but the breaks have been flying in. 3 centuries, a couple of other 50-plus contributions, and now this from Lisowski.
62.
Surely we're going all the way. And a match that deserves
63.
a decider. And that's frame ball, barring snookers.
70. 71.
Every chance now of a 4th century this evening.
$78. 79.
Well, look at that. Nothing to choose between them. Equal amounts of table time. And very shortly it could be equal numbers of centuries in this match. Same average shot time as well. Could not be tighter.
87.
It promised to be a terrific match, and it's absolutely lived up to its billing.
$94. 95.
Doesn't get much better than this. What a spectacle for this big crowd here in Cheltenham. Shaun Murphy, I'm sure, thinking the same. One of these two players is going to be very disappointed to lose, given how well they've played. But someone
Lisowski, 101.
is going to finish on the wrong side of it. Who's it going to be? What a match. 4 centuries, and all to play for in a one-frame shootout. It's 3 apiece. Fantastic standard then here on table 1 this evening. Gary Wilson, who won his maiden ranking title at the Scottish Open last season, beating Joe O'Connor in the final. Quite the cannon he was looking for off the black there. That may be
30.
end of break. Oh, that's a terrific recovery from Wakelin.
31.
Beautifully stroked in. So he's still going in that frame. Beautiful. Long way still potentially to go in that one on table 2. What a match this has been. Royally entertained, this Cheltenham audience.
Lisowski to break.
And it's all down to this final frame. 4 centuries in the match. 2 apiece. Who is going to prevail? The winner, remember, to play the Matt Selt or Zach Shurty in the last 32 after the draw earlier this evening. Remember, it's a random draw here at the British Open, so you can face anyone regardless of your ranking. And again, Murphy knocking one in from distance, so he gets first shout in this deciding frame. Just to underline that point, Barry Hawkins, who came through against Rob Milkins 4-1 in our first match this evening on table 1, he'll play either Kyron Wilson or Mark Allen in the last 32. So that's a heavyweight battle in the offing, whoever comes through between Kyron and last season's player of the season, Mark Allen.
Five.
Not quite the cannon maybe he wanted. Perhaps was looking for a slightly thicker contact, but he's still got options. I think he's got one of the most attractive cue actions in the game, Shaun Murphy. He's got that beautiful pause on the backswing. It's never really changed, that action. And it's been extremely profitable for him. In fact, even when Murphy's struggled in his career, he still looked really good to watch because of that languid cue action of his, so easy on the eye. And it was a struggle for him for a while. Lost his way after showing signs of the old form when he got to the final of the World Championship a couple of years ago, losing to Selby. The following season was a bit of a write-off for him, really. He only won 23 matches in the 2021-22 season. One semi-final, but that was really as good as it got for him. Didn't qualify for either of the 2 events that he won last season, the Players and the Tour Championship. So it was a dramatic return to form for him during the last campaign, and good to see him cueing that well again.
$29.
And so far, so good in this decider in a bid to avenge that loss to Lisowski at the UK Championship. Another big tournament coming up, of course, before Christmas. End of November, beginning of December.
$34.
Mark Allen will be defending his title. Big comeback from Allen in that final, of course, to deny Ding Junhui a 4th UK crown, and Allen could actually finish this tournament as world number 1. Ronnie O'Sullivan, of course, withdrawing ahead of the tournament for medical reasons.
35. 40.
Lead goes to 40. Still quite a bit for Murphy to do before this becomes a match-winning opportunity. Those reds are going to need some attention soon. Looking for an angle off the blue,
41.
perhaps to split them up. Or failing that, off a baulk colour. This is the all-important shot. He's got the angle on the yellow to go into the bunch. Well, he's on one. The problem he has is that the black is now not available into the opposite corner. That's blocked by the red that's come down off that cluster. Not sure what sort of angle he's got here. Well, he's got a decent angle, actually, on this red. So he can manoeuvre the cue ball out of that corner. Lisowski has got to be prepared in case he gets the chance. But how well has Murphy cued?
44.
Has he just about got top side of the blue? It looks almost dead straight. Looks as though he's going to have to leave the red towards the right-hand side of the table from distance.
$49. $50. Rumble.
He really has cued superbly well.
$55.
So this black and one more red would do it for Murphy. Lisowski started the evening very well, won the first two frames, including a century. And at that stage, Murphy was struggling a little, had missed an easy pink in the second frame.
62.
But not over just yet. Not sure if he can get through to the potting angle on this red. Must be tight. It's the red he needs. Yeah, just the safety. Murphy deliberately pushing the black closer to the cushion to make life more awkward for Jack Lisowski. A case of nearly but not quite for the magician. Could there be a late twist in this match? Lisowski at the point of no return here for sure. 62 points adrift, only 67 remaining. But at the moment, it's a relatively tidy table. Yes, the black is off its spot. But everything else is there. If he pots the next red, he would fancy his chances of a dramatic steal. Now then, the red goes in. Can he get through to the black? Murphy retakes his seat. Murphy acknowledging it. What a match it's been. Snooker of the highest order, but this has got to go for Lisowski, otherwise he needs a snooker. And it's not easy. Big shot. He's got it. What a shot. What a shot. Now, is he on the red? Black obviously about to respot. Can he get through to that red? Looks as though
8.
Maybe he can. Or can he? Yes. What a turnaround this could be.
9.
And who would you rather be right now? Shaun Murphy with a 53-point lead, or Jack Lisowski, the man in possession with the balls at his mercy? Murphy's played
60.
superbly from 2-0 behind, but is it going to be enough? Just failed to get position on match ball red just now. Tried to push the black safe, but couldn't legislate for that wonderful red off the cushion. With the cue ball from Lisowski, it
17.
really was a tremendous bit of cueing. And then the pressure black that had to go. This would be some clearance for the home favourite.
22. 23. 30.
Well, they're all there for Lisowski, but of course there's pressure on every ball from here on in. This would be a massive steal for him, just when it looked as though he was on his way out of the tournament.
31.
What a turnaround this would be in the decider, but he's still going to make it happen. If he was in the club, it would be an absolute piece of cake, but this is not the club. This is a big tournament on TV.
36.
With a place in round 3 of this lucrative event at stake. Remember, there's £100,000 and points for the winner on Sunday. Lisowski still searching for that elusive first ranking title. Murphy, I think, now resigned to his fate when just a couple of minutes ago he was a ball away from victory. But this has been a special match. It really has exceeded its billing, if anything. We've had 4 centuries, 2 apiece, and we could be in for the most dramatic climax.
50.
Well, we will be in for the most dramatic climax. Lisowski needs pink and black.
$56.
And the adrenaline will be coursing through his veins right now. This to win by 1 point. In it goes. Well played, Jack Lisowski. What a match. What a match.